Well, I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback on all of these tier lists I've been doing for Hunt for Blackbeard, and so I figured I'd do more of them. So it seemed like the most obvious thing to talk about next in terms of tier list for Hunt for Blackbeard is the gold tokens in Hunt for Blackbeard, which is what we'll be doing a tier list for here. They aren't evenly distributed in the game. If you want to see the distribution, it's down here. There's 3 ones, 3 threes, and 6 twos. So let's start with the 1. So an interesting question to ask here when you're playing Blackbeard is how much gold am I going to need in any given run? And the answer to that kind of depends, but if you look at the objectives, you're going to spend probably 2. If buy rum pops up, you're going to definitely want to spend that. Maybe you'll need to do one of these 3 objectives. So, or maybe none. Maybe it'll come out that you don't need to spend any. So, I like maybe 2 or 3. And then when you think, okay, how much are you going to spend on defenses? Well, a pretty decent, common defense is lookout, swivel gun, chain shot. And that generally does what you need to do to defend Blackbeard. I mean, you do want to get more things, but this is kind of like this bare minimum. So 6 is kind of what you want. So since you start with 5, the 1 is actually not that bad. So I'm not putting it in D tier. I'm putting it in C tier. It usually will get the job done. Now, how Israel Hands is going to play into that calculus kind of is hard because he costs 2, but he gets you 4 if you lose him, but you might not lose him, so you probably want 2 more, which puts you in the weird situation that the change from 1 gold to 2 gold is actually not that big because you're going from 6 to 7, and really the next thing that you want after spending these 3 is 2 for either Philip Morton or for Israel Hands. Or if you got Israel Hands first, then you would have, you could get Israel Hands and spend 3 on this, but it depends on your objectives. So I'm putting the 2 into B tier. I think it's better than 1. According to my math, 2 is better than 1 as far as I can tell. But not as much better as you think. The real star in this is the 3 gold, which is much bigger than 1. I've done the math on that. I come from a family of accountants, and I can assure you that it's about 3 times as good as the 1. And also because the thing that you want to get after this is, like I said, Philip Morton or Israel Hands, or spending 2 gold for a bot silence. So 1 extra gold doesn't really do you a whole lot. Granados is like you really want to get Granados after you get Grape Shot, and you tend to go for Chain Shot first. So unless you're going for a very specific board victory build, which is hard and doesn't necessarily have a big win rate, you're going to want to get Chain Shot first. And so that means you're going to want 2 more gold after that. If you happen to be drawing a lot of objectives that require you to spend gold, then 1 more gold can be big, but 3 will often just be the 1 that you need. You just draw a 3 and you're like, oh, that's all the gold I'll need for the whole game. So I'm putting it in S tier. You can debate with this as much as you want, but by my expertise, and remember, I am correct because I'm the only guy making videos on YouTube, I think 3 is better than 2. I'm pretty sure 2 is better than 1, but not quite as much. 2 and 1 is worse than 2, but not as much as you think that it is. They're both much less than 3. In fact, you could even make the case that if you took the 1 and the 2 and combined their value together, that it would be only like even with 3. I mean, technically, actually, it would be worth more because of the objectives that trigger based on the number of loot tokens you have. But that would ruin the joke. Happy April 1st, everybody, and Godspeed.